Well, in the days of old, 5 elements were known: MCing, DJing, graffiti had grown, B-boy and knowledge, the pillars of the game. But a 6th emerged, adding to the flame. Comics and hip-hop, a fusion so tight. Visual storytelling, lyrics that ignite. From the pages to the beats, a seamless blend. The 6th element, where 2 worlds transcend. Welcome to the 6th Element Show, where comics and hip-hop flow. Reno and Stu guiding the way, bringing you the culture every day. Welcome to the 6th Element Show, where comics and hip-hop flow. Reno and Stu.
What up, y'all? 6th Element, we in the building. Reno and Stu bringing you the culture every day. 6th element of hip-hop. You know, comics are hip-hop's 6th element. And today we got some hip-hop and comics action for you guys. We got some dope. I got a crazy video I just got to show you that's bananas. That shit had me laughing my ass off and cheering and shit. And we got the comics, man. We got God Emperor Doom from Secret Wars #8, a great scene that's been recreated, adapted, and we're going to see how that's going to be in the Avengers movies moving forward. Comic accuracy in comic films is on the uptick. It's on the upsurge. It's in vogue. Hollywood is all the rage. So they love it. And that's good for us. So we're gonna get into that. DC Studios confirmed a second Robin to be in the DCU. We know Damian Wayne is coming, and now we know that Dick is coming, which means Nightwing is coming. So we can talk about how that kind of is gonna come birthed out of the Clayface movie. James Gunn says Supergirl update. Supergirl, best casting he ever made in his life, he said. And then we got the Russo brothers. They gave us a Doomsday. It's some sort of leak or thing, a reveal. It's so blurry, nobody knows what the hell it is. But then we're gonna talk about the Disney's Shanghai Expo, where they gave us a real Doomsday sort of teaser and showed us some things that are going to be in there. We're going to talk about how God Emperor Doom was revealed. Let me see this guy here, and he's going to be in the movie, which means comic accuracy at its best. And Jonathan Hickman is being tapped. We talked about it on this show for years, man. If the MCU would just tap Jonathan Hickman, it would be all better. And here they are listening to our show. Robert Downey Jr. Revealed. We got the actual Dr. Doom, so we know what Dr. Doom's going to look like. We got the image. We're going to show you exactly how he's going to look in the movie, so that's cool. Batman and Deadpool. Batman versus Deadpool. Let's be more accurate there. Reminds me of the Batman versus Spawn back in the early 90s, so it's very much reminiscent, in my opinion, of that, but it's Batman versus Deadpool. That's coming out. That's dropping. We got previews for that. I got the list of the directors for the Ahsoka show coming up. A whole bunch of stuff, man. The DC canceling Red Hood comic books based on some political stuff. We're not going to name his name. We're not going to talk about his name on this show, but we all know what we're talking about. We're going to talk about that. Darkest variants of the DCU heroes. Disney Plus Superman star Henry Cavill injured on the Highlander set. So that's going to be on pause now for a minute. A whole bunch of stuff, man. Man of Tomorrow. We got another key cast member joining the crew. And big news, the DCU secret movie. It's a secret movie, as James Gunn's calling it. Never been revealed, not talked about in the Gods and Monsters stuff that's coming out. So we got the whole deets on that. So big show tonight. So stick around, hang with us, kick it, watch the whole thing. It's going to be big. It's going to be long. We got all kinds of goodies. And we're going to get into it. It's how we do. Now, I have to run for like 60 seconds because my G.I. Joe classified crystal ball has just been delivered at the front door, and I got to go get it. I'll be right back.
And while he's gone, booyah! The Valkyrie set. Bang, Cobra Valkyrie officer and trooper. Bang, black and gold. Or beige, if you want to be correct politically. Boom, 2 set. Bought it because I just wanted 1, to be honest with you. I didn't need 2. Not saying that they're not, dope or anything like that. But I was on Scalper's Island trying to get just 1, because I was like, 1 shouldn't cost that much, because 2 of them are like, $40, $50, something like that, $60. So I wound up going on there. 1 was almost $55. So went on Hasbro Pulse, got 2 for cheaper than that. with shipping, and that's where we're at. That's why I got them. But I'm loving it.
Oh yeah. What was it? What was it? I didn't see.
Oh, Booyah.
Oh, the female
Yeah,
troopers.
Valkyries. And they won't
Valkyries.
sell. So like I went on Scalper's Island just to get one because I'm trying to get a Cobra officer. Seems like it's hard to get a Cobra officer, man. I'm trying
Yeah,
hard, man. I'm like, oh,
you got the one. That's
um,
it. Only
yeah,
one I ever
that's
found.
that's all I want. I just want one. Couldn't get it, couldn't find one. Actually couldn't find one for a decent price. Going on Scalper's Island, I was like, let me just get one Valkyrie. Try to get one Valkyrie. One Valkyrie, they trying to charge you almost the same price for two. And
Mm.
hold up, you don't get none of the blast. They weren't trying to give you none, and they were selling them separately on there, but they don't give you no blast effects.
Mm-mm.
So the one Valkyrie, the one with the black, so that'd be the
Mm.
African American version. She comes with a gas mask. They gave you the gas mask and all her weapons, no blast effects. This one right here, they gave you her helmet, all her weapons, no blast effects. And with shipping and it came to damn near $54, $55. So I go on Hasbro Pulse. The 2-pack is on sale for 40. It was like $40 or $43, between 43 and 45, something like that. With shipping and everything, it was the same price for two
Mm.
than to get one. So I was like, I might as well just get the two. So I just went on Hasbro Pulse. Got
Nicely
the two.
done.
Yeah, instead of the one. And like I said, I got everything. I got the blast effects. I got both sets
And
of gear.
for those of y'all that got screwed like me, and Walmart canceled your pre-order and thought it was all good to do so, and just said fuck you, sorry about your luck. They are now back in stock at Walmart. And do you think Walmart, found those people that they canceled the pre-order and said, "Hey, we got one now. Let's send it to you"? Fuck no, nothing of the sort. Lucky that I found an article saying that it was there. So guys, if you got screwed and you still actually want a crystal ball from Walmart, fortunately, it's the only place to really get it at retail price. They're up there now. I just went on there today on the app and had it delivered the same day. So yeah, there you go. I finally got him. But bittersweet. But yeah, man, great show today, man. Where to begin, where to start, we got so much to do, so much to talk about. I could reorder everything. Let me put everything in order here. Might as well start off with the big to do, and that's Doomsday. Well, the Avengers Doomsday movie, and Doctor Doom, and we're gonna talk about how Doctor Doom. Hang on, we're gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something. Actually, this was revealed at Disney's Shanghai Expo in China, and very cool, very revealing and interesting and all that good stuff. If I could get it up here, we'll show it to you, I promise. All right, here we go. Sharing my screen with you so you can see what I see. Well, while we're waiting on that, this is Doctor Doom. This is how he's going to look in the movie. That's the MCU version. You can see his little MCU armors and stuff like that, and you can tell it's very MCU'd. But it very much looks like Doctor Doom. I'm not mad. I mean, it's very, very, very accurate. Very, you know who that is. There's no mystery involved. This is Doctor Doom, and there's no two ways about it. There we go. It was like this on my phone. Where's it at? There's this. All right, I want to show you guys the actual little movie. Here it is. So yes, in Shanghai, in China, they showed this, and this is literally like. All right, can you see it? You see like Marvel, like a green blob in the screen?
Yeah.
All right, so it's a light show, and everybody in the audience is sitting around, all in the dark. You can't see them, and there's this big laser light show going on. It's like a hologram in the middle of the room, and this hologram in the middle of the room, it's showing Doctor Doom and like the Avengers and all this different shit. And there's one scene where you literally see Doom holding aloft the skull and spine, a la God Emperor Doom, issue number 8. Secret Wars, 2015, Jonathan Hickman. So very cool that we're getting comic accuracy. And I was like praying to get God Emperor Doom and hoping that, they were really going to adapt Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars. And, because you can't adapt the old one. It's just, it's not really movie quality. But Hickman, everything Hickman writes is movie quality. You could adapt every Hickman comic into a film and it would be blockbuster. But and that's not me glazing Hickman. That's just a fact of the.
That's just a fact. Well, no, that's a fact.
I mean,
That's a fact. No,
that's how he writes. This is how he writes. Cinematic. But all right, let's watch it without further ado. Here it is. Here it goes. We see Doom's hand coming at the screen, or coming at your face, rather, 3D hologram style. I got a mind to speed it up a little bit. No, yeah, let me do the playback speed up a little bit. All right. Sped up a little bit because it's hella slow. There's Doom's hooded face twirling in a circle. There it is. Obviously, that's Dr. Doom. Full bust to full body, sitting in his throne. And obviously, this looks way better in person. Lightning all around, Doom on his throne, and it's fucking wicked as fuck. There's all kinds of different versions and stuff. You can see this, right, Stu?
Yeah.
Okay. There's Doom, energy all around, floating all in a circle, and he's like bringing everything together. Energy emanating from his power, the magic, because he's a master of magic and sci-fi, or and technology rather. Sci-fi, technology and magic. He's a master of both. That's why he's basically the ultimate. All right, now here's Doom's hands. Now this is where it gets interesting. Look at this. Shang-Chi's 10 rings. I don't know what that is. There's the Avengers logo. Watch this. Here's the Wakandans logo. Here's the Fantastic Four. And guess who's next? The X-Men. So these are the 4 teams that are going to be fighting Doom in this movie. The Wakandan team. Now, let me see. This doesn't really have the part. There's Doom's like mural. This is why, okay, when you see Robert Downey Jr. on the screen, guys, this is what you're going to be seeing. So don't be scared and worried. Oh, it's going to look like Tony Stark. I'm not going to be able to watch it. Okay, first of all, they're going to explain why he looks like Tony Stark. It's going to be part of the story. That's 1. 2, Robert Downey Jr. has the chops, bro. You will not be taken out of it. You will think you're watching a completely different character. He's that good. Trust me. Just go watch his movies. And then you've got the mask. He'll be wearing the mask 90% of the time, most likely, if not makeup, where his face is all distorted and destroyed. We'll probably see his face at one point again because they're using it as a plot point. But yeah. This was the Shanghai Expo. All right, but where is the scene where he holds the skull aloft? Here. Aha. Boom. All right, so there you see him. This is the scene we're looking at, right? This is the scene from Secret Wars. And that's why I have the God Emperor Doom. What you call it? Chromed out. And so this, from Hickman's Secret Wars, manifests as this. on the little laser light show. You can see Doom like sort of holding up the spine and the skull.
That's dope. I would love to see that in person. That's dope, bro.
Yeah, that I mean, comic accuracy, man, is like ever since we saw Deadpool and Wolverine, we see that they are acknowledging that comic accuracy is important and is something that needs to be.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I mean,
But you know what? It also got the fans hype. I mean, they saw that it was they saw that we liked it. I mean,
yeah,
you can't say it was a failure because, to be honest with you, that's what Hollywood was telling us all along. Nobody wants to see that. They want to see what we put together. These black, all the time, these black costumes
right.
that look like bikers. These biker costumes we put together with all this leather, and and then we're gonna throw a couple, maybe a color or two in there, and it'll be okay. And people were screaming the whole time, "No, you got to give us something better than that." I mean, if you look at the X-Men, that's what we got. Everybody looked like they were part of a motorcycle gang.
Exactly.
Man,
And yeah, so we're gonna get more. We're gonna get the actual X-Men costumes finally. So yeah, it's gonna be like the Fox actors and all that. But Cyclops will be wearing his blue suit with the yellow. You know what I mean? They're gonna be reportedly they're gonna be wearing classic X-Men comic accurate costumes. And why are they doing? We saw Gambit. I mean, how comic accurate can you get?
yeah, Gambit was dope. Gambit looked dope, and Deadpool.
Deadpool and
I
Wolverine.
mean, like
He was
he
comic
looked,
accurate.
yeah, he looked dope. Like, he looked really
And
good. Like,
and you know what I'm saying? Like after all the shitty movies they gave us ever since Endgame, and we've been complaining, like, man, y'all are just making up your own shit at this point. And I guess that's that's your deal. You make up your own thing because it's the MCU, but still, you got to at least adapt the comics you're adapting and pay homage, at least in a way that is recognizable. And we want to see the comics that you're adapting on screen. Like, we want to see something we recognize. And the fact that we're getting a scene like this that's so iconic literally transported into live action, that's great. And seeing how great Doom looks and how accurate he looks, that's great. And then this is again, this is ever since Deadpool and Wolverine. We saw Fantastic Four, this latest Fantastic Four. As different as the characters were from their personalities in the comics, the movie itself was very much comic booky. It felt like a comic book. It was had this comic accuracy, like full effect. And you could tell that they really put forth a lot of effort to give the comic fans something that we know, love, and recognize in a way that is like really just a lot of budget and all that good stuff behind it with a decent story. Still, I think they need help in the writing department. Still, the characters felt two-dimensional and the story felt a little bit like just not that interesting. But the fact that they've gone so comic accurate and so comic book style, I can forgive that for a minute, and because I know that they'll get better. Mighty Rex, what up, man? Welcome to the show. We just been talking about. I mean, I've been talking about how this new light show here reveals this scene here with Doom holding up the spine of the skull from the Secret Wars. Such an iconic scene that, yeah, man, they made a little figure about it and everything. So that is cool. That's what I'm talking about. That's paying homage to the fans. That's letting the fans know we see you, we hear you, we're giving you shit that you need. Salute to everyone at Sixth Element. Where does Bond? Now this here little tweet. It says Dr. Doom has officially arrived in the MCU. This villain, a master of cutting-edge science and powerful magic, will unleash a cascading crisis across the entire multiverse. That's the synopsis for Avengers Doomsday. And Avengers Doomsday is really just the lead up to Avengers Secret Wars. That's where it's all heading. I mean, that's the big culmination. That's where we're going to see God Emperor Doom. And so that's where he's from. Secret Wars.
And if it's green, that means we're going to be dealing with the Time Stone.
Yeah, Time Stone will be involved. Absolutely. But the green is really, you know, obviously Doom is all green and shit. But yeah, that's how they've been doing. Like they've been doing like each stone had a different color during the Infinity Saga, or each title and shit. Yeah.
Because each Avengers title was a different color towards the Infinity Stone, like, you know, with the
Hmm.
Infinity Stone. So if you take a
Hmm.
look, you know, when we know it has something to do with time or
Hmm.
paradoxes or something like that because of screens. And like you said, Doom as well.
Yeah. And yeah. But yeah, that's the basically you know, it's what appears to be we got what appears to be our first official look at the character design for Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom, and I think it looks great. And then we of course got the leak from the Walt Disney Marketing Expo in Shanghai with a tagline reading, you know, Doctor Doom has officially arrived in the MCU. This villain, a master of cutting edge science and powerful magic, will unleash a cascading crisis across the entire multiverse. While this doesn't tell us too much about the plot, it does confirm that Doom will utilize magic and technology like he does in the comics. So, very cool that they're sticking to, again, comic accuracy. And as for this cascading crisis across the multiverse, you know, the rumor has it that Victor Von Doom's mission will involve hunting, you know, him hunting down those who were responsible for causing the whole multiversal incursion bullshit shenanigans, which resulted in the deaths of his wife and child. And so in this case, it sounds like Doom is going to be, you know, even more, you know, cause more damage in his conquest for vengeance, in his quest for vengeance. You know, and it's perfect because it's exactly what we, you know, want to do ourselves. We want to find the person responsible for this multiverse bullshit and shake them. You know what I mean? And
True.
Doom's gonna give it to us. But yeah, let me see. This promo is pretty dope. Show you this. Heads rolling in and shit. All right, here we go. And that's him. That's the same image. And there's the Avengers. You got Ultron in the picture. There's Thanos there above him. You got the Sentinel behind Doom. Look at the Sentinel, guys. Look at that fucking MCU Sentinel, bitch. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Right there. That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
I look better than the ones we got from Fox.
You know? And the beautiful thing about it. Oh, maybe I gotta stop sharing. Huh.
Yeah, the ones we got from Fox was like, I don't know. They were like robots.
Yeah.
They were like sentinels.
No, hell no. What's going on with my thing? Man, why does this shit do shit like this while I'm live? I just want to get a picture of the picture, man. Zoom in for the people. Well, it's not gonna let me, so I'll just give you this again here, and I'll talk to you about it again. Yeah, I wanted to zoom in up on that Sentinel, but that's pretty dope. There's a little bigger. There you go. You can see this here. It's coming right out from behind him. It's not a whole body. It's just the face. And the face is cool. I mean, it looks definitely like they're going for what we know in the comics. That's fucking awesome. The Sentinels that we got in the like the old school like Fox movies, the newer Fox movies that were the old school X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
And those are pretty decent. Those are pretty decent, but they didn't look as much
The
as
one,
as like the comics I wanted
yeah,
to, but
like the comics. Yeah, the ones from Days of Future Past, they were decent because
that's what I'm talking about.
yeah, they were futuristic sentinels. Like, so we could
Right.
go with those.
Yeah. Doomsday and Secret Wars recently hit with significant delays. 16, 27, 27. Both movies will be directed by the Russo brothers. We know this. Being able to create stories and explore characters within the Marvel universe fulfilled a lifelong dream of ours. Yeah, we've all heard that before. There's a nice big shot of the Sentinel. There you go. I don't know. The face is kind of weird. It's all right. I hope it looks better than that in the movie. More accurate. Oh, now it wants to open up. But it doesn't want to work.
What is it doing?
That's bizarre. I don't know. I'm trying to open like the snip thing, and it's just like when I click it ain't opening. Why is Steam trying to open? Yeah, it's weird. It's not opening when I click on it, and then when it did, like it took a while, like it opened up, and then but then it didn't do anything. I don't know. It's nonsense.
Maybe the link might be bad.
Pretty weird. It's pretty weird. It's pretty weird. Hang on, what Mighty Rack said, if Doom is from Fantastic Four timeline, he might already be Sorcerer Supreme. Yeah, he will be Sorcerer Supreme, I mean, pretty much before Secret Wars. By the end of Doomsday, I think he's going to be Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because I think he's going to get it from Doctor Strange. Or whoever is Sorcerer Supreme at the moment. It's Wong, actually, or something. Slade, peace. All right. So, that's wicked dope. For those of you who just rolled in and missed the little movie, because I don't know where everybody was. Let me show it again real quick. There's Doom. So it's like a little laser light show they did at the Disney Expo in Shanghai, and it shows how Doom's gonna look. But it shows him with the throne and some Shang-Chi rings, and there's actually more to it than this. There's his hands, manifests the Shang-Chi ring. The magic. And you got the 4 different teams, the Fantastic Four, the Wakandans, the Avengers, and the X-Men.
That's
From
dope.
there, yeah. Oh, yeah. From there, it goes over and shows this. Which, if you can make it out there, it's Doom holding up the skull and spine like this, seen in the number 8 Secret Wars from Jonathan Hickman in 2015. It's the other way, though, like the spine, the skull is up here. There's the spine. There's his, his arm is holding the spine. There's his head looking at it. There's his arm. There's his hand. Goes down. There's his Orion's belt. There's his 2 legs. Yeah, it's like Orion's belt. It's like a constellation. You can see. You can make it out.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
dope.
it. Yeah.
It's like just like that.
Yeah. And then they made the little figure to it. Chromed out.
And chromed him all the way out.
Had to.
They look better like that. I don't get why. I don't get why Hasbro hasn't caught on to that yet.
It's probably expensive. That's all I could think of. It's got to be expensive.
Yeah.
Whatever, compared to whatever they pay for their paint.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the whole scene there. I mean, you got Dr. Doom and Thanos were the focus of this whole piece, and the and Doomsday is expected to sort of shake up the MCU to its core when it hits theaters in 2026, largely due to Robert Downey Jr. playing one of the most iconic villains ever, Victor Von Doom. And while plot details for the movie obviously are kept under wraps, fans are getting this early tease for one moment to expect on the big screen, and so Marvel Studios has put on an official Avengers Doomsday light show at the Walt Disney Studios Marketing Expo in Shanghai, China. This light show largely focused on Doctor Doom, who will put the entire multiverse in danger of collapsing when he does his thing, and makes and basically debuts for the first time in the MCU in the Avengers movies. And so about 1 minute and 15 seconds into the show, we see a quick shot of Doom holding the skeleton in his hand, looking triumphant, in his full comic accurate suit and all that good stuff. Doctor Strange has got to become Sorcerer Supreme somehow. I hope Robert Downey Jr. has an accent to differentiate his Doom from Mighty Rax, bro. First of all, go watch Sherlock Holmes. That's your homework. Go watch Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes. If you haven't seen it yet, shame on you. If you've seen it a long time ago, go remind yourself. This dude can do any accent, and it's like spot on. People in Britain were saying like that his shit is the most like accurate accent they've ever heard in a movie, like that from an American. Like they said that shit is undifferentiable from an English person. Like, and that's just. And then go look at what any fucking Robert. Oh, the movies are crazy. Go man. The guide to recognize my saint. No, he's not really in that too much. He's in it, but it's good. But he's not in much. Mostly Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, he's in. But anyway, dude's got chops. You will definitely not. He will not talk, sound, or seem or act like Tony Stark, unless he wants to. Unless that's part of the story. But he will completely. You will think it's someone else. It's crazy. I mean, that's how acting should. I mean, that's a great actor should be able to do. You should not, you shouldn't. It shouldn't be like how The Rock is. Every movie, he's The Rock as such and such. Like they should disappear into the role. You know what I mean? You should forget that that's such and such actor and just see the character. That's when the actor is doing their job. And I think Robert Downey Jr. is one of the best at that. And people forget because they think that he's just like Tony Stark. He's really not. He's nothing like Tony Stark.
Yeah.
But he plays that shit so well because he knows guys like that and he emulates it. He's a very good actor.
Which would give him.
Almost went down the wrong pipe.
Man.
What are you gonna say?
No. I said I'm looking forward to it, man.
Oh yeah.
I really am. Because I mean, even for everybody complaining, you got to remember, this Doom is not from the main Marvel universe. He's not from the 616 or whatever number the main cinematic universe is. He's from another. He's from another universe, like
818.
818. So if you paid attention, and this is where it goes down. If you paid attention to the Fantastic Four movie, and the beginning of the movie, they told you what universe that was. They literally told you what it was, and then we went from there.
828.
828, which meant that some things are the same, but they're different than 828.
Something like that.
Yeah, whatever one it was, they told you that in the beginning of the movie. So nobody could complain about Pedro Pascal's mustache or anything like that. This is that universe's version of Mr. Fantastic. And the Invisible Girl thing and Johnny Storm. That's their version. So they're letting you know that this was from another unit. This was from a different universe. And Doctor Strange even talked about it. He was like, "Yeah, there's a multiverse." Blah blah blah. Remember, he's talking to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched a bootleg copy of it the other day. That was pretty decent. It was pretty decent DVD copy. It was almost DVD quality. But I was paying attention to like the little details. And he was sitting there talking to the kids. He was like, "Yeah, you got a multiverse, blah blah blah. There's different dimensions." Like he was breaking it down. And I was like, damn, there it is right there. So they're in the Marvel universe, they give you a lot of when you watch these Marvel movies, there's a lot of small Easter eggs you gotta pay attention to. And if you pay attention to it, you know, you'll
You'll
pick
get
up
more
on
out
some
of it.
things. Yeah, you'll get a whole lot. A popular one is when Captain America and Nick Fury had a bet. When Nick Fury was like, I'll bet you $20. And it was something, I forget what it was about. But when they got on the carrier, the helicarrier, Captain America walks up to Samuel Jackson and goes in his wallet and hands him $20. But if you paid attention, like, like 10 scenes before that, where he told him, I bet you real money, he lost the bet. So he didn't say anything. He just walked up to him and handed him money. And Nick Fury put it in his pocket, like, hey, thank you. It's just little stuff like that you gotta watch.
Yeah,
But
it says right here, Fantastic Four First Steps is set in the 1960s. All right, but they're not on Earth
they're not on
616,
Earth 616. Yeah.
aka the same planet where the Avengers and the Thunderbolts and the other present heroes reside. Reed Richards, Sue
Right.
Storm, Johnny Storm, Doctor Doom are all from Earth 828, which is a different reality from the MCU's numerous timelines. And that's where Doom's coming from. So the fact that he looks like Tony Stark, not only is it explained by the fact that he's from the multiverse and it's a different version, right? A different multiversal version. But we know, and we've seen in the comics where other versions of characters just like look like the other guy. Like it'll be like, this looks like Spider-Man, but in this universe, he's, Johnny Storm or whatever. And it's that, you know what I mean? Plus the fact that he's coming from a different universe. He's got a different, vibe. He'll have a different, he's just, and in that universe, Victor Von Doom looks like Tony Stark. Yep. They're going to explain why. And he's going to actually, I believe, use that as a way to fool the Avengers at one point, in some way. It's something like that. And so that'll be interesting. So, but that will make everybody not be like, oh, this is just hard to watch because, like, I know that's Tony Stark, but they're just acting like it's Doom. It's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like they're just, no, it's just Dr. Doom. What are you talking about? It's not going to be like that. It's part of the story why he looks like Tony Stark. So
like Tony Stark, yeah. Because sometimes in some of these universes they don't have a version of somebody else, but that version of somebody else might be somebody else.
Yeah,
or that person might have died. You gotta pay attention to the continuity, and if you do, then you'll get it. So like that's just what we got. Like I said, if you paid attention to Fantastic Four, they know there are other universes out there, but in this one, the Fantastic Four is just they're the only heroes. They're the only. I mean, their whole lore is what rules that part of the multiverse, that universe. So their whole lore with Mole Man and all of that, that's what rules their. Like he says back in that. Now that doesn't mean there aren't mutants out there, and they won't. Maybe in the 70s they come out, or maybe in the 80s they come out. Things just take place differently in these different universes.
Right.
And like they said, they're already telling you that there's going to be another Doom, but it's not going to be Tony Stark in future movies. So we know that. So now we know that this Doom is from another universe.
Right, and that's the other thing too, guys. That's I'm glad you brought that up because, I mean, the fact that he won't be it's only going to be till the end of Secret Wars. The next phase of the MCU, when we see Doom, it won't be Robert Downey Jr. playing him because it'll be Doom from the 616 or whatever universe it is. It won't be the Doom from the 828. It'll be the Doom that we have from now on, the Doom we should have always had, right? The real Doom of the MCU, the Doom that doesn't look like Tony Stark. They needed to do this Doom looks like Tony Stark thing because the MCU is failing hard, crashing and burning at every turn. This was a gimmick to get the MCU back going. Doesn't mean it's gonna suck though. I think that they're gonna use that plus the comic accuracy stuff and really adapting Hickman comics and stuff like that to really get fans back on board because we were done. We were tired of it after fucking after Thor Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
And the Marvels and Eternals, I was like,
it was.
I'm done. Y'all just lost your way, and there's no way you're gonna get it back because you don't understand that it's all about adapting comics and making shit seem like you can't gender swap and race swap everybody because then it's not familiar. We don't see what we recognize on the screen. It's not about being political. It's not about being a bigot. It's about I want to see what I know and recognize on the screen that you know what I mean? And if you want women or people of color characters, Marvel got plenty of those. Use them. And then you check 2 boxes. You get to have the diversity much needed in Hollywood, and you keep it comic accurate and recognizable. Everyone's happy. I mean, it's a no-brainer. So hopefully they're learning their lesson. I think, when we all saw Avengers, or when we all saw Deadpool and Wolverine, there was this little glimmer of hope, like, oh man, I wonder could this be a sign that things are getting better? But then it was like, this is Deadpool, and probably not, so didn't put much into it. Then we saw Fantastic Four was coming out, and they were doing this radical version of the Silver Surfer, and people were again like, oh man, here we go again. I guess Deadpool and Wolverine was just a fluke. But then we saw Fantastic Four, and we saw that no, this shit rocked. This shit was dope. This shit was just what we wanted it to be. And
It really was.
I mean, so that gave us hope again that the MCU was changing for the better. And Doomsday has to resemble Infinity War and mainly focus on the villain. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it will. And that's the thing. These are their Infinity War and Endgame. Right? Doomsday and Secret Wars, it's Infinity War and Endgame all over again. It's bringing all the characters that we know into one, couple of 2 movies and making a big. The only difference is with Infinity War and Endgame. This was lightning in a bottle. It was the first time, it was the MCU was this thing we had never seen before, and like this thing had culminated, and it was just this crazy ride, and it ended up with Infinity War and Endgame, and it was crazy, and it built up. It was 10 years. It was like wow, and then Captain America is coming down with Thor's hammer, and it was like whoa, and everything was crazy. Like that was a buildup that you can't just manufacture. And once it's been done, you can't do it again. It's like one of those things that once it's been done, you know what I mean? Like now you're just repeating something that's been done. We already saw it, like it was an experience. You experienced it, now it's over. But we didn't have that buildup this time. So Secret Wars and Endgame, Secret Wars and it's still working doubles. Secret Wars and Endgame are that buildup. Or they don't have that buildup. They're trying to recreate something that existed, but without the buildup that made it great. And so they need something, right? They need something big, and maybe bringing Robert Downey Jr. back was a mistake. Maybe it's gonna work, but that's exactly why they did it, and why they had to.
They listen to the fans. The fans been telling them what they want. The fans been telling them how it's supposed, and they just, I don't know, they just do what they want. I mean, nobody asked for the Marvels. Nobody asked for it. Nobody wanted it. We didn't care. We watched it. Weren't impressed.
We thought Thor: Love and Thunder was gonna be this crazy,
yeah,
fucking bro.
That's
Beta Ray
another
Bill.
hero. Yeah.
I mean, like it was gonna be Ragnarok on steroids. It was gonna be crazy, and it just turned out to be this just clown college.
Yeah, we didn't get nothing. It was part comedy, part movie, part comedy. Nobody understood what it was. Nobody liked it. They were pushing for Jane to be Thor over Thor for the whole movie.
It was all about that.
Yeah.
That's what they were trying to do. I mean, Disney was trying to feminize Star Wars and Marvel, which It's
Just
just
doesn't work.
stupid. It's just stupid because the whole reason they bought Star Wars and Marvel were to attract guy fans to Disney because Disney had no male fans, only girls like Disney and very small children,
Yeah.
and they had
And they grow
they had
and they
nothing
grew
for
up.
guys.
Right. And they grew up and then you had stuff that was taken over. Taking Disney. And then you got Teletubbies, you got what else?
Hmm.
Bob the Builder, all they were taking over because Disney they weren't doing anything for this newer generation of kids that they really like. So they're like, hey, let's give them Star Wars, let's give them
Well,
Marvel.
when I was a kid, we used to have Disney Channel, and my favorite shit to watch on that shit was the goddamn Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck cartoons.
Yeah,
They don't
kids grew
have
out of
that shit
those.
no more.
Yeah,
Those were great cartoons, though. Those were very well drawn, very well animated. Those were amazing. Those were made by those old guys in the '40s that just, made
no,
Bambi and shit. Those were amazing artists. That
the new ones now are computer generated. They're not the
yeah,
same.
that shit's
And then
annoying.
you got to get,
Oh,
and
artist
then
lost.
and Disney's trying to hit the demographic of the kids from the ages of 5 to about 12. So they want to hit the little boys between that age because you can sell a lot of merch to them. They'll buy a lot of merch. There's a lot of things you can do. Like Reno said, you said it a lot, merch. And so, like, if you get these little boys, and now all of a sudden, Thor went from being this male to female. The little boys are gonna be like, well, all right, she's cool, but we want Thor back. Like, we want Iron Man. Why is everybody gotta be now? Like, I was watching Black Panther one day. It came on at work, and somebody walked by and said, "Yo, that was a good movie," but it was like, why is there so many females in it? It was true. It was true. It was laden with females. Like,
They were trying. And that's it. They wanted to feminize it, and so it just it was an experiment that didn't really work, and happily there's someone smart enough at the top to be like, hey, this is hurting our pockets, we gotta stop doing it. That guy gets caught on camera saying that we purposely don't hire white males, like we won't hire them type shit. Like that was just outlandish. People were like, oh no. And like all that, like they had to tighten up and get right. And now coming with shit like this, you got this hanging out, this coming on the new. This is something they would not have done before. I mean, this is leading a male character that's being the head of shit, and then you got this scene here. It says comic fans will recognize this image from the issue number 8 of Marvel Comics Secret Wars run from 2015, written by Jonathan Hickman with art by Asad Ribic. In this issue, Thanos challenges Doom for supremacy before Doom shocks the Mad Titan by thrusting his hand through Thanos' midsection, grabbing Thanos by the spine and ripping his skeleton straight out of his body, showing no mercy and unbridled power. So yes, that is Thanos' skull, spine, and pelvis that Doom just ripped out. So if you ever had a question of, I don't know if Doom's as big a bad as Thanos, well, here's your answer. Doom is the big bad of Marvel. He's the biggest bad they got. And that's how they designed it. That's how they wrote it. You know what I mean? Can you see that, Stu?
yeah, I
It
mean,
says, that appears untrue.
the artwork is dope. The artwork is
Mm.
dope, bro. Like,
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's
Yeah, if
super.
you haven't read Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, you're not doing comics right. You got to go do that. It says, while this does not confirm anything for Doomsday's plot, many hope that this means that Marvel will mimic this moment early in the movie. Marvel Studios is known for recreating scenes straight from the comics. Are they? And with Doom expected to be the MCU's next huge villain, it would make sense to see him exert his dominance over the Infinity Saga's big bad. And while, I mean, yeah, would be cool, like intro would be Thanos, would be Doom, talking to Thanos, but Doom from the 828 with Thanos of the 828.
Mm.
And that's how it starts out. We see Doom rip Thanos' spine out. And that's just to set the stage. Let us know who Doom is. And then we jump to the movie. But like that would be a sick ass fucking little pre-credit scene. You know, and that would really set the stage and let people know this guy is fucking.
Yeah, let me play right.
You thought Thanos was bad. Marvel Studios Doom expected to be the Marvel MCU's next huge villain. Would make sense to see them. Avengers Doomsday will be the MCU's next major team up for Phase 6 and franchise's 39th movie overall. 27 Marvel Studios stars and Marvel Legacy actors are confirmed to be joining the cast. Marvel Legacy meaning like Fox and all these other guys. Going up against Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom. Avengers Doomsday is currently filming and will be released in theaters on December 18th, 2026. So, yeah, it's a good ways away. Good year and a half away.
That is a good ways away.
Yeah. While Marvel might not bring the same level of gore and horror that the comics did when Doom ripped Thanos' skeleton from his body, many believe this moment will be used as a turning point in Doomsday. Doom may not be a god-level villain like other Marvel characters, but he is expected to be immensely powerful. Looking at Thanos' place in Doomsday, considering he has been canonically dead since the Avengers Endgame, he's unlikely to get much screen time. Again, like I said, it would have to be Thanos from the 828 because we know Thanos from the Marvel MCU is dead. But that's all they got to do. They just got to take Doom and show him with the Thanos from his universe before he comes over to ours, to the MCU's. Looking at the rumors indicated that Marvel may not release a first trailer for Doomsday until San Diego Comic-Con 2026. So that's like this time next year, basically, before we really see a trailer. Although this Doom Thanos moment is sure to be kept secret until the movie is released. Well, it's not really secret anymore. You heard it here. Should it be realized, it would be a turning point for the MCU as Doom takes his place against the new mega antagonist. Stu, you there, bro? You fell asleep, bro? Teams.
Yeah.
You there?
Yeah. I had to.
Your camera's off.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I had to go open the door. My son in his door is getting on my nerves. He just never met nobody. Hope I don't ever again.
Remember we talked about the Punisher Red Band comic where it's like the Red Band comic it's like a sealed bag with a red band around it so that kids can't like flip through and see the violence and gore inside because they're super ultra violent graphic comics. And so they call them Red Band. Sometimes they make a Red Band version of something. And then currently right now they're actually making titles called Punisher Red Band #1. And now we've got MCU or what do you call it? Marvel Zombies Red Band #1 on sale next week. Marvel's comics. And
don't forget we had Battle Beast. We had Battle Beast Red Band #1. Couple months ago.
Yeah, Battle Beast Red Band. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of Red Bands. Like Red Band is just a way that they use to let you know the shit in here is graphic. But yeah, there's Marvel Zombies.
Extra.
The one.
Don't forget Marvel Zombies is coming out what, like a week from now or something like that? 20 something?
Yeah, on Disney Plus, yeah.
Looks good.
And there's the Fantastic Four, all zombified Red Band #1. There's something with Peter Parker. I can't really read that, but there's Fantastic Four.
Yeah, okay.
Coming down. Zombies. There's Mr. Fantastic's head, like mouth is like wrapping around this dude's head, just biting his head off. He rips it off here, crunch, and then they show his head rip off. Yeah, this is not for children
at all. I don't think any comics are for children.
I mean, most of them are not.
Yeah, unless you have one specifically written for children. But
that's what kills me with these people that are all mad about Peacemaker's show being all kind of, violent or having sex scenes and stuff. It's like, well, what do you mean? Like, when was Peacemaker ever to be a kids show? Like that
never was.
Never.
Peacemaker never was a kid
it's
show.
Like they just think because it's comics that it has to do with kids, but that's backwards.
But if you break it down, comics were always for like a teenager to an adult group. Like,
I mean, definitely in our era, yeah.
Yeah, and then like in the era before, like the '60s, they were kind of like, they were kind of like straddling the fence. But once the '70s,
kids was like the '40s.
The '40s, right? Yeah, once you got to like the '60s on up, you can hang that up. It was a lot more mature. It got a lot more mature. And as the decades went on, the '60s, '70s, '80s, '90s, it got even more mature. So for every decade, the maturity level went up times 10.
Yeah. Like, I mean, by the '80s is when it got really dark, when you had the Dark Knight and Frank Miller and all that stuff started coming out, and that's when they really got dark in the '80s. And the Comics Code Authority got lifted and all that. That's when they just started going ham with everything that the Comics Code Authority used to prevent them from doing. Because remember, like, the Comics Code Authority came around in the '50s, and so they couldn't do any violent stuff. And that's when like Batman got all campy, and that's when stuff did become for kids, was like in the '50s. And then once the Comics Code Authority stuff got lifted in the '80s, you saw shit really get really different.
It got real. It got real.
It got real. And then in the '90s, they were just bananas, bro. You had Spawn. I mean, they just went nuts at that point. It was definitely just dark and crazy and just dope.
And also you had a lot of independent comics come out in the '90s, and those guys were doing whatever they wanted. So they were like, well, we ain't part of the Comics Code Authority at all. And that's when you had like Spawn and all those Dragon and all. They were just breaking, and Marvel and DC had to follow, because if they didn't, they would have sank. They would have tanked. Everybody was reading those comics. They were getting them signed. They were reading Todd McFarlane, all those guys. They were breaking the molds.
Exactly.
Which was great. Yeah, which was great because we needed that. Because at the time it was just, it was just too campy. It just wasn't. The Teenage Ninja Turtles was violent. That was another one that broke the mold, and it was in black and white. That's what got. That's black and white. Yeah, it was no color at all. It was just straight. When I first read the Turtles comic, I was blown all the way away. I was like, "What is this?" Yeah. Don't lie, Reno. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was like, "What is this?" And it was good. It was like, this is a bunch of characters, animals. They dope.
This crystal ball is dope.
I told you.
Hold on. Give me this little crystal ball. It just flew.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Red Arc comics. It blew me away. It was very violent. It was very, very fast paced. It was very, very mature.
His little crystal ball thing. There's a little tiny green
skull inside there. Yeah. Little skull in there. Yeah.
Y'all can't see it's all out of focus, but yeah, it's a crystal ball. You can see a little skull inside there, tentacles around it and shit. And he's got this thing.
That's an extra head. So you got to pull his head off and you put that on there. That's his other head.
Yeah. Or like Lenny said, it's his pet.
Yeah, you got better. Yeah, I had it like that for a while, and then I pulled it off and I put his I put it on his head. Yeah, I put it on his head.
See, I'm not gonna do that, because me, I'm all about the nostalgia. I want him to look as retro as possible, but I will definitely have this little guy like on the ground next to him and shit. I want to get. I'm sure that some customizer has gotten the original image that he used to have on his. Because remember the lenticular here on the GI Joe one, it was just like a starburst. It wasn't no skull or no shit.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And like I want it to be like that. So I'm sure there's a customizer that you can grab a GI Joe, like an OG looking one on eBay. So I'm gonna grab that. But it also has this thing, which I guess you can put on top of it. All the green stuff is supposed to be magic or illusions that he's projecting. So like when he has this head on, that's like an illusion that he's projecting to scare you and fuck you up. And then there's these like soldiers that rock with him. There's like a sword with like shit on it. But there's these soldiers that they made up for him that are gonna have yeah, you didn't know?
Nah, I didn't see him.
They got a new troop builder. They got werewolf, a green glowing werewolf head, a green glowing like cobra head that you can swap on them to make different soldiers. It's an army builder. And they got like a helmet and shit for the base. And they come with like a glowing green wolf, like a little wolf and shit. So it's all crazy shit. Let me hop over here to the what you call them. My bad, y'all. TMNT was violent as fuck. R-rated. MCU is made for kids too. There's no nudity allowed on Deadpool or Daredevil. I mean, R-rated is not made for kids. The fact that it's R-rated means it's not for kids. That's what the R rating means. It means children are not allowed to see that. You have to be 17 or 18 or older to watch it. But I think comics are R-rated anyway. If you were to adapt a comic exactly on screen, it's gonna get an R rating. That's why they have to chill them down so they can get PG ratings, because historically Hollywood always believed that a PG-13, and it's true because historic has shown that a PG-13 movie is always going to sell way more than an R-rated movie, because parents can bring their kids to it, kids can go see it. It is more people that are able to watch it, so it makes more money. So for a movie to get an R rating when they don't really have to, then they will always go for the PG-13 because they're going to make a shit ton more money. But when you have a character like Deadpool, it's just ridiculous to not make it R-rated. And the fact that Deadpool is like the highest selling R-rated movie of all time, not comic movie,
R-rated.
of R-rated movies, it is the highest selling R-rated movie in history. Now try to convince me that comic movies have to be PG-13. You know what I'm saying? So they've learned. So now Echo is not a hard R, you know what I mean? They need to step it up. For the Punisher has to be full blown NC-17 if you ask me, but R will do. R will definitely do.
What was John Wick? Was John Wick R?
I'm sure it was either R or NC.
Whatever John Wick
version,
whatever John Wick was, that's what Punisher has to shoot for. And whoever directed John Wick needs to direct the Punisher. That's just it. That's the only way it's going to be successful. Other than that, it won't be successful. You can put out any Punisher movie you want. That's the only way it's going to be successful. I'm telling you, it's not going to be successful if you don't have the director. Like they could do the promo, or they could do the teaser trailer. They got to be from the director of John Wick 1 through 4.
That little worm wrapped around that gun right there.
That's hard, man.
That little worm wrapped around Crystal Ball's gun. Apparently, that's the worm from Cobra La.
Is it?
Like, yes. Apparently, it's related to Cobra La in some way. It's some worm that they got, that they had. I don't know if it's Pythona directly or what. But speaking of Pythona, yeah, man, we got to get to Comic-Con. We got to get to Comic-Con in New York and get Pythona.
I will drive up there just to go get Pythona if that's how I'm going to get her. No lie. I will drive. And it's that close? I'll drive right up there.
Either that or I'm just going to find somebody that's going and pick me one up. if you do that, grab me one.
We gotta talk. Oh yeah, we gotta
No,
talk to Al.
yeah.
I gotta call Al Monday. Al, if you're listening, I'm gonna give you a call Monday.
I already asked
Yeah.
Al about that. He said he couldn't do it for whatever reason, but he said that he knew guys that were going to buy that shit and get what do you call it, figures and stuff. And
Is he going this year?
try to hook me up. I'll go every year. He's going as a press guy. He goes as
Okay.
press, and so he's not shopping or anything like that. He's like backstage with people and shit, trying to do interviews and all that.
Okay, I was all. He's strictly business.
When I go to Comic-Con with Al, it's the same thing. Press pass. That's it. We going. I mean, you too. You going too. It's gonna be all of us with Al. We gonna go and press pass it up.
That's good. That's good. I'll call Al. We're talking about this. We got
Wepa Studios. Shout out to Wepa Studios. Check out in our description. You'll see Wepa Studios. Punisher just finishing filming. John Bernthal himself directed. Now that's cool. Bernthal's the man, bro. Bernthal's the man.
He is.
I watched his podcast and co-wrote. Obviously starred. I mean, he puts everything into the Punisher. Frank Castle is his baby, right? That's his main favorite, lifetime role or whatever. And so he's all in it. He wants to write it and all that shit. And he knows what people want. And he gives us the thing that John Bernthal gives us that we didn't get from like a Ray Stevenson or even a Dolph Lundgren or even a Thomas Jane, and that's drama. That's like real emotion. Real like humanity. Like you're gonna see the Punisher and feel that shit. It's not gonna be just a mindless action movie with explosions and blood and shooting and all that. It's got that stuff, but with Bernthal, it becomes a character piece, which is what the comic books are. When you read a Punisher comic, it's boring as shit. I'm sorry. I try to get into Punisher comics. Like, they're not all action. It's a lot of Frank, like, thinking and talking. And it's just a lot of introspection and stuff like that. And not every comic. I mean, trust me, there's tons of different. There's Punisher Max is bananas. But no, there's action-packed Punisher comics for sure. But
you got Warzone, Wardrome.
You got Wardrome.
You got Nam and all that.
I think he embodies the character. You know what I mean? In the best way. And it's not John Wick. It's not going to be John Wick, unfortunately, but it's the Marvel special presentation. So it's not even like a full movie, a feature movie. It's just like an hour and a half movie or something like that. To me, John comes off as the most unhinged version of Punisher in a good way. Yeah, because the reason like you feel that way is because he's the first guy to play Punisher where you feel something going on. There's some mentality, there's some emotion, there's something going on behind this dude's fucking face. And that's why you feel like that, because technically he is the first Punisher but Punisher should always be unhinged. He should always be. Think about this. You come home, you find your wife and children shot and slaughtered to death, and you're that dude that already is a killer. You're already been to war and shit. You're gonna fucking go ham, and you're not gonna be yourself anymore. You're just a machine that. I mean, so yeah, Bernthal, he gets that. John gets that about the character. And so, yeah, he does give us a very good version of Frank Castle. You know what I mean? I won't say that this movie will be the, you know what I mean? But, and Ray Stevenson was very calm. But that movie, the Ray Stevenson movie, was the best, most action-packed, violent of all the Punisher movies. And he was my favorite of them all. Thomas Jane was like definitely a more down to earth guy. Yeah, Dolph was just the Terminator.
Dolph was
I must
Dolph was
bless
bad,
you.
man. That,
He was
I ain't
just the
gonna lie,
Russian
Dolph was
from
bad, man.
Rocky. Yeah, he was
It was
just rough.
bad then. It's bad now. It's all. It was never good. People talk about Dolph. It was never good. Listen, I lived the '80s as a kid, and I'm gonna tell you, it just wasn't good. It
Yeah,
wasn't what we expected. Like you had palm trees in New York. Um,
yeah.
I don't. It just wasn't good. Punisher only came out at night.
Wasn't
Uh,
John Travolta in it?
no,
No.
no, not that one. He was in the other Punisher movie. Was it the
With
guy that
Thomas
played the
Jane?
Thomas Jane? Yeah, he was in that, but he wasn't in.
Oh,
He
okay.
wasn't in Dolph Lundgren's movie. Dolph Lundgren's movie was like Punisher met Batman. You know, he had the black trench coat. Came out and he rode a motorcycle.
Yeah. Which
I don't know,
that's
like
very accurate. Punisher should ride a motorcycle and have a black trench coat. That's cool. I mean, he
yeah,
looked the part, but it
he didn't
there
play
was
the part.
I was there when they filmed it. Like because they filmed it in Tampa, which is like 20 minutes from where I lived, and so we saw like a lot of that filming of that movie, and like we were too young, like they didn't want kids, but we were trying to be extras and shit, trying to get, because there
Trying to
was an
get
ad
that.
like, yeah, they were paying people like $50 to stand in the background and shit like that.
He went to we know you will be punished.
Yeah,
Uh,
right. I must punish you.
most punish you would be punished. I mean, it's fun to watch, like watching the He-Man movie, the live-action He-Man movie, but it definitely, it definitely didn't do anything for the fans.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, moving to some sort of darker, since we're on that tip, uh, there was a recent public personality who was unalived
oh,
unalived from
you know
a
what, man? You know what, man? Just
from a far off
say the
vantage
I was going to
with
say
a
the easiest way.
projectile in
Just
which,
say it, man. We gonna move on from it. Just put it out there. and We gonna move on. Just real quick.
yeah,
Just
well,
real quick. Yeah,
basically,
because
you know who it is, you know what happened, it's all over the news, that guy who's no longer
yeah.
with us, and basically there was a guy that was involved in the DC comic, Red Hood, and he's behind the movie, the comic Red Hood, and so DC has pulled the comic book series, after the writer had shared an inflammatory post following that event of which we do not speak. But yeah, he was like, he said, "Hope the bullet's okay after touching such and such," and one post, and then he said, "Thoughts and prayers, you Nazi bitch." Another one read, by the way, the writer is trans, and so they were none too sympathetic, let's say. So DC said, at DC Comics, we place the highest value on our creators and community and affirm the right to peaceful individual expression of personal viewpoints. Posts or public documents that can be viewed as promoting hostility or violence are inconsistent with DC's standards of conduct. So yeah, Red Hood is no longer going to be on the shelves, guys. The comic is gone, and also now DC has pulled the Gotham sampler for Batman Day. We know Batman Day cometh, and there was a little thing called the Gotham sampler of comics, and it included the Red Hood comic, and so yeah, they pulled the little bundle, so you won't get your Gotham sampler now. Yeah, whatever the fuck.
Moving right along.
On to some good news. The Greenville Spider-Man saves two stuck on downtown Waterfall. Greensville, South Carolina. There's a guy, little 18-year-old guy who runs around in a Spider-Man costume saving people. Yeah, real guy. And
Really?
yeah, oh yeah, real guy, runs around, Spider-Man. Let me see. Show you his name. There you go. Let me turn this up Raise the volume.
They say with great power comes great responsibility. At least that's what this Greenville Guardian says. If you've been downtown over the last few months or online,
everything's looking good, no fires.
You've probably seen this web-slinging wonder, Greenville Spider-Man Patrol.
Since obviously I can't swing around the building being small and I don't have a car.
So why is an 18-year-old dressing like a superhero and wandering downtown? Is he a Spider-Man or a Spider-Man?
Like I said, obviously I can't swing around due to the buildings being small. Not because I don't have fucking web shooters and webs that could, sustain a man swinging, but because the buildings are small. I love it.
Yes. Well, I spoke with Greenville Police. He is just your friendly neighborhood spider. Just recently, he rescued 2 people in the falls at the Reedy River.
So I saw one of them almost slip and fall, and I was like, all right, this is time to go. And I booked it over there, and I jumped over some rocks to get over there, and thankfully there was an indent to where I could put my feet like this and prop myself up, and then they grabbed my wrists, and I pulled them up.
When the spectacular spider isn't making rescues, meeting fans, or just hanging out.
So I turn on my EMS scanner, and I listen for anything going on, and I have notes of which streaks I should be on the look for.
The CPR certified social media star listens for people having breathing problems, running to help until EMS arrives.
My intentions is to help the people of Greenville and protect, and honestly, spread kindness along the way.
The social media sensation set to protect the city he loves.
Spidey.
Usually neighborhood spider. I guess this would count as more like a friendly downtown spider.
Now I know what you're thinking, and we have the answer. That costume is dry clean only. In Greenville, I'm paying for time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was a man years ago. I don't know what state or city he was in.
There's a guy in New York City too that runs around doing shit.
But he dressed up as Batman and he helped people on the turnpike or the highway when their cars broke down. And he had a little makeshift Batmobile. And so, hey man, listen, we can all be heroes in different ways. And some heroes don't wear capes.
Yeah.
Nah, that's good, man. That's good. Greenville Spider-Man. That's
dope. That's dope. Here, this is check this out, y'all. This shit had me dying.
Yeah. Yo, I watched this. I couldn't stop laughing, man. It was good though. Very creative.
Hold on. I gotta put the lyrics up here for y'all. Hang on.
You see. This is shout out to my homies in Blackgate. Yeah. On a gurney. Wow. Service. Tuesday at 2. Yeah. Yo, they wild for this. He said my gas be popping and I'm coming straight out of Ghana.
What?
At the Riddler?
Well, thanks, I rob you. But how he gets bigger? I'm a bad super villain, and you know this. But Steve, my methods are focused. When little needed, what had more legs and flies. Batman and Robin when they need that demise. It's like it's called Fiddling. Try to solve my puzzles in a minute. I play a big to win. And so I win it. I know you won't see it. And I need it. Anything but a criminal genius. You might want more to behind. Fuck you. That's the way the shit to die. Yeah, how's that unprepared for the rise of serious like cancer? So tell me if you think you got the answer. I'm the start of the end at the end of time. I'm the potential defeat and I go around in the line.
Yo.
What? Cuban link?
And if you try to find you might think I'm starting to slip, but the rhythm like me is the tip.
Oh, he said he built for Cuban links.
Yo.
By the way, one of the illest beats in hip hop.
Where's his bomb?
My boy.
Get the fuck out of here, bitch! That's no joke. Yo.
Run that back. I'm running that back. I'll put some rhyme. Yeah.
We got Bane in the background. Yo,
He said, take a sniff of the Smilex.
Yeah.
Why is so serious? Word up to Arkham.
Give it a thing.
Hip hop and comics, baby.
Straight out of Gotham. Yo. I give him credit.
I had to.
I had to give him a shout out and give him credit, man. He did a good job. Yeah, it was very creative.
Or
yeah, that was super, super dope.
hell yeah, man. I love seeing that kind of shit. Hip hop and comics.
I wish my neighbor had
Together.
Spider-Man. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope, bro. How'd you find that? What, that just came up on your feed, or you?
Just came up on the feed, and the crazy thing, it's 10 years old.
No.
That video is 10 years old. That shit's from fucking, what, 2015?
2015. Yeah. Oh, damn. We didn't know that. I didn't see this in 2015. I feel like
someone in the comments, they were like, that's crazy. I got this shared to me 9 years later. And then somebody down there was saying, like, all this like YouTube gold is just coming up out, and that like YouTube is starting to like push some of their old classic videos and shit now. But this shit had 2.8 million views. That video had 2.8 million views. Like people fucked with that video. That's pretty
That's
dope.
entertaining. It's very entertaining. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they took a song we all like. And I don't know, nobody don't like Straight Outta Compton. They took a song we all like and put some of our favorite supervillains saying their own rhymes to it. Like, it's dope.
Or shout out Marshall Warpath in the building said da 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 Batman. I hip hop don't stop.
Mhm.
To the break of dawn. Yes, you're on and on. Man, oh man.
I
Why is
thought Bane
Eddie
was gonna
Bar
get
not
on there and rap,
playing?
man. They didn't put Bane on there. I'm blown away by that, man.
I mean, he was talking.
Yeah, he
He
was.
just didn't have no verse.
Nah, I thought he was gonna get on there and do a little something.
Yeah, he should have done a verse. Man, why my toolbar won't come up, man? You know how sometimes when you got your window open and the toolbar won't come up? You know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm just gonna have to minimize and then stretch the screen till it's sort of like it's full screen so I can pretend so I can see the damn toolbar. Ain't that a shame? There we go. Now we're talking. I bet now it'll work. Nope, son of a bitch. Well, anyway, let me just move this out the way then. Slide that over here like so.
Yeah, I went and tried to get those Chrome markers. Can't find it. They're no longer available on.
Bro, I fucking keep sending you the link. They're available. I'll send you the link again.
Yeah, send me the link again. Yeah, because I went on there. It was like unavailable.
Type
Sucker.
Liquid Chrome.
It's called
Just
Tide.
type Liquid Chrome. That's it. Just type Liquid Chrome, and it'll come up. Yo, right? Fucking, you said Riddler rapping was the funniest idea. You know what I mean, with the rhymes and the riddles. I mean, they could if they really wanted to go crazy with it, they could have had some crazy MC go nuts with some crazy metaphor riddles. They could
They
have
did a
went nuts,
good job.
they did it cool because I mean it's straight out of Compton. It's not no fucking lyrical gymnastics. Obviously, it's early NWA. There's nothing, no tongue twisting going on. So it's all they had to do is pretty much rewrite it. EGC Divine, what up? Peace, man. You just missed the fucking hip hop, straight out of Gotham music video. That shit was hard. But yeah, that shit's 10 years old, bro. Yeah, straight out of Gotham. It is on YouTube. But yeah, man, next we got the Deadpool and Batman. Batman versus Deadpool. The two historically collide. And here are some of the dope covers that are available. That's Batman and Deadpool right there. Number one. Oh, this is just the one cover. Okay, and here's some inside shots. There's Deadpool busting in Wayne Manor. He said, "Playtime's over, Wayne. Let me see those hands." And Wayne jumps up in his robe. And then we got the gun and the sword, little mini joint. And then there's sorry, let's go back. So you have Wonder Woman there, obviously. And then I believe Nick Fury's in this one, something like that. Or no, it's Captain America. So this is Wonder Woman and Captain America, called The Gun and the Sword. And then you have Daredevil and Green Arrow together. You see that's Daredevil and Green Arrow. So DC and Marvel crossovers galore. It's Batman and Deadpool, fucking Wonder Woman and Cap, Daredevil and Green Arrow, and this is all fucking foreshadowing. Yes, there will eventually be a movie with a DC and Marvel crossover. It's inevitable. This is a recreation right here of the Wolverine comic where Wolverine's holding his claws and you could see the reflection of Hulk in it. Here you have Batman holding up 3 batarangs like they're Wolverine claws, and then of course in the reflection you see Deadpool holding a gun.
Yeah, that's art, bro.
So yeah, that's a great homage to one of my favorite Wolverine comics. And But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's happening. Let's see. You can grab this Joker on the 17th.
This month? Next month?
This month, the 17th. Yeah.
Okay, that's this week coming.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Next week. Yeah. Next Wednesday. Is it next Wednesday? Yeah.
It's Wednesday coming. Yeah. Yeah, because today is the 13th. So yeah.
Right.
So get it together. Go to your LCS and pick this up because we've never seen this before, and this is
Yeah.
it's the first time for this.
I mean, this is something to have in your collection too. Like this is
It
something
is.
you want to go ahead and slab up. This is one of those one-time things, like, you know, that doesn't happen all the time, and that's what you want to slab up.
Oh, yeah, and I'm definitely gonna slap one up.
Hell
You
yeah.
can definitely. Look, you know, I gotta break out, man. It's 8:30. Gotta
Mhm.
start getting ready for the work.
Yeah, man, we're gonna wrap it up, man. But
So,
Saturday night, Batman will have to let go of all personal morality to take on Deadpool. Well, he definitely have to.
we might have
I
to
mean,
get
you
Zen
never
and
know.
Rock.
Batman fights all kinds of killers and doesn't kill him somehow. So he'll try to figure out a way to stop Deadpool without killing him, which
Killing him. Yeah.
you kind of have to do because you can't kill Deadpool anyway. So Batman's
It's
kind of
true.
the right guy because Batman is the specialist of killing dudes, defeating killers without killing. The best and worst killers in all of comicdom in Batman's rogues gallery. So yeah. But Stu Dog gotta bounce, fight crime and all that good stuff, bro. Be safe. And we'll see you guys every Saturday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. Let me see if there's anything else we can talk about. Oh yeah, there's a gang of shit we can go over. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna hang out and go over this stuff with y'all, man, and show y'all this cool shit. And Stu's gonna go fight crime, and we'll see Stu next Wednesday.
I'll be in the chat and get it
All
done.
right.
All right, peace.
All right, one. And I don't know. I think Raw Talk's gonna be joining here in a sec. Usually rolls in about this time. All right. I did want to show y'all something here. We saw that. It's not that interesting. And we can do without that. Well, Clayface, the movie Clayface, we all know is happening. The what do you call horror movie for the DCU. It's going to be from the Batman universe, the DCU universe. It's going to be part of the Batman mythos that we will see in the DC universe moving forward. The Batman Brave and the Bold movie and all that with Damian Wayne and all that good stuff. So it's part of that whole universe. And yes, so the Batman and Robin joint is going to have Damian Wayne as the Robin. My favorite Robin. I know it's, kind of a hot take, but I just like him. I think he's the coolest Robin. He's definitely the most lethal Robin. But Clayface reveals that we're going to have another Robin, which I think just may lead into Nightwing because we don't need two Robins. And by the time Damian Wayne's around, Dick Grayson is Nightwing. So, DC Studios is, of course, not gotten Brave and the Bold off the ground. Obviously, they announced it at the start of 2023, but it's gonna come later after Supergirl and all that. But the plan for the movie is to follow Bruce Wayne as he trains his newly discovered 10-year-old son Damian as the new Robin, because the implication there is that the Bat family already exists, right? If James Gunn is following the comics, right, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake all have served as Robin at some point. And so Dick and Jason, however, will be paired up as two Robins in the animated dynamic duo, which is part of the Elseworlds thing, not part of the DCU. So doesn't matter what they do there. But these new photos from the Clayface movie show a poster for the Flying Graysons, which we all know is Dick Grayson's family of acrobats that worked for Haley Circus, who were killed. And obviously, that's why Batman adopts Dick Grayson and makes him, you know, Batman's ward. He trains him as his sidekick, Robin, the first Robin. And the poster doesn't look over a decade old, really, suggesting that Clayface either takes place in Gotham's past, or that Dick is still part of the Flying Graysons at this point, which I think is great. I think Clayface the movie is going to take place in the past, right, where maybe Dick Grayson is still a kid, you know, in the circus, because, right. You know, Clayface is being established. This is very much an origin movie, which Gunn kind of promised he wasn't going to do much of, in which it's not going to be an origin movie of like superheroes that we know and shit like that. Not many people familiar with the origin of Clayface, right? He's not Batman, right? So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But other photos seem to indicate that we will visit Ace Chemicals, which is where we know the Red Hood falls in and becomes the Joker. And so, like, all these cool throwbacks and Easter eggs to Batman legends and mythos and, right, mythology really is a great nod to that comic accuracy that, or just, you know, I don't want to, that term comic accuracy, it's so, like, lame at this point. Like, I don't really care or mean to say comic accuracy as much as I mean to say recognizability, iconic, something that we know and love from either our childhood or, you know, comics or something that we recognize and want to see on the big screen, want to see on, you know, in live action. But yes, so this mysterious substance that turns Matt Hagen into Clayface could have ties to Ace Chemicals. And so, but, you know, establishing these iconic things, I think, it's just more testament to James Gunn's comic nerddom. And that's what's so cool about having a real live comic nerd making these movies for us comic nerds. Because honestly, I don't think Kevin Feige, like, I just can't picture him in a comic shop, like fucking digging through crates. I don't see it. Gunn, on the other hand, like, I've literally seen him do it. Like, I know that he's that guy. But it's another to be determined element of the movie. And so the pressure is on DC Studios to make sure that Clayface satisfies us fans eager to learn more about the DCU version of Batman and that whole universe. And but anyway, here's the little poster. I'll show you real quick. Pretty cool. Flying Graysons, which, you know, yeah, you know who that is. And, you know, it's like a paper poster on a brick wall. So it can't be 30 years old or something. Can't even really be a decade old. I mean, a piece of paper on a wall is not going to stay up there for 10 years. So pretty good clue, I think, that this takes place around the time when the Flying Graysons are still active, which means this is the time when Dick Grayson is his parents are still alive, and so he's not yet Robin. Okay, that's what this means. That's what this tells us. That Clayface takes place during a time when Robin is not yet Robin, the very first Robin, and that it takes place in a universe that will be recognizable to fans of Batman and have all the Batman fixins, right? Gotham and all the iconic landmarks and origins and all that cool stuff that we nerds love to nerd out and geek out about. And so I love this. I love that. And I think also what this tells us, right? Okay, is that Dick Grayson is part of this DCU, which tells us that the Bat family at large is part of the DCU. and which tells us that when we see Damian Wayne, Dick Grayson will be Nightwing, Jason Todd, maybe, you know what I mean? Like they may be their versions of their next iterations, because like all the Robins became like other, like Red Robin, you know, obviously Red Hood, and Nightwing. So be cool to see those characters, man. And the mystery project that James Gunn is also making for the DCU, that he's not writing and he's not directing. And that's how we kind of know what's going on, because he said there was one thing. This is a quote. There was one thing that I knew about from the very beginning, that when I pitched to David Zaslav what the DCU would be, I pitched to him, but we did not announce it in that first meeting because I felt like it was too easy to rip off by another company. And so that's one of the main things. And so now, somewhat, we have an update on this project, this mystery, this secret project that he didn't want to tell us because other studios could steal it, and would steal it. So it would be something pretty cool, presumably, unless there's another secret project in the works of the DCU. This is it. Appearing on the Peacemaker official podcast, Gunn stated that the project has a writer and director that is not him. And so he said, I was just meeting with the writer and director of a forthcoming secret DCU project that we're doing. And I was asking, and they were asking us about how much VFX and how much it costs and how many VFX characters that we could have. And then they were talking about the superheroes in the show. And I was like, the one thing you kind of got to be careful about is the superhero costumes, because they're really difficult to make. They're difficult to make look good. And it usually costs a lot more money than it does creating a CGI character. Wow. That's crazy. Like, a lot of people would not expect that making a costume, a live action character's costume, is way more expensive than making a CGI. Everyone thinks CGI is so expensive and shit, which it is not cheap, but nowadays with technology, it's easier probably and way more cheap than paying someone to handcraft some shit. Because remember, back in the day, movies were made by these guys called VFX, makeup artists and stuff, and special effects guys, and they were basically brilliant craftsmen that were like jacks of all trades and could just MacGyver some shit and make you think you were looking at some shit from an alien planet. And of course it was probably something you could make in your kitchen, man. But these guys, they were scientists, bro, and they made there was magazines dedicated to them, like Fangoria and stuff like that, right? These legendary men of trade that just it's lost. It's a lost art. So yeah, I think live effects and shit like that are gonna cost more these days. Lord knows they look better when done right. I think CGI is good to accent live effects. I think all effects should be live, and I think you should use CGI to fill in holes or whatever, make it look whatever. But when shit's just pure CGI and the whole thing's shot on a green screen, it doesn't feel the same, man. It does not feel the same. And I remember fearing that when I was a kid. When I was a kid, bro, that's what I wanted to be, was a special effects guy. Like, that was my young childhood dream, was to be in the movie industry and make special effects. So yeah, when I found out like all this CGI stuff was coming, I was like, man, this is the end of the industry. And it is like largely like a lot of those big special effects houses and stuff, like they don't do a lot. There's not a lot for them to do now. But yeah, he's doing this project. It is presumed that all of Gods and Monsters Chapter 1 are gradually building towards a large-scale event-style movie, right? Like a Endgame kind of thing. And but unlike the MCU phases, each television and film project won't be forced into a single rigid continuity, right? That you have to watch one to get the other and all that. Instead, each project is allowed to stand on its own, but still contribute to the bigger picture. So Gunn's not making this filmmaker do the movie this way, or this writer write it that way. Each thing can be its own thing and very different from each other. It's just that they're related. So like this Clayface movie, it's going to be literally like a body horror movie. It's a horror movie. They're just using these characters and stuff that relates it, and then they're going to link it with certain whatever Easter eggs and whatever, certain writing and whatever. But like, that's dope because it avoids that thing that people think that they're having superhero fatigue. It's not anything about superheroes that you're fatigued about. You're fatigued about watching the same goddamn cookie cutter movie over and over and over. That's what it is. Like, you know, and not to just shit on the MCU or anything, but like superhero movies at large are basically, Hollywood has like a formula. It's like the origin movie, story. And then you've got, superhero loses his powers for a while, gets them back. And like, you've got, superhero saves damsel in distress, beats big bad. Like, it's very cookie cutter and it's like an assembly line. And so this will combat that in a way that is good for everybody, because like we get a bigger variety of shit to watch. Like, personally, I love that, dude. I love the fact that there's shows that are one way, like, and shit's like not the same. Like Superman is not Peacemaker, very different products, but yet you have characters from both, and it's seamless. When I see the Justice Gang in Peacemaker, that's the same Justice Gang that I saw in the Superman movie. The movie was different. The vibe was different. The riot, everything was different about it. Not so different. I mean, obviously Gunn's doing both, but I mean, different in a way that, they're definitely different projects. You could take your kids to see Superman kind of thing, but the characters stay the same throughout the projects. Creature Commandos is another example that we don't have a great gauge on, but Frank, what's his name? Rick Flag, sorry, not Frank. Rick Flag Sr. and Jr. Jr. is one that died in like Suicide Squad. And so Rick Flag Sr. from Creature Commandos, same guy in Superman, same guy in Peacemaker, same guy, right? So DCU projects in the works without a reveal or release date are including Wonder Woman, Brave and the Bold, the Batman movie, Swamp Thing, which I'm super excited about, Waller, which I couldn't care less about, but I think it'll be all right. Booster Gold, not excited for, not really worried about, but could be fucking great. If it's, if Gunn does his thing, man, and I am a big fan of his style. I like the raunchy style. So, and then an animated Blue Beetle TV series. So the kid that plays Blue Beetle, I felt really bad because like he was just like starting his career in the superhero world, and then it just like record scratch. You can just hear it, right? And there's like the end of the DCEU for him, and then that was going to be it. So Gunn's bringing him in right now as an animated voice actor. But yes, same guy, same actor and all that as the Blue Beetle movie. And then Paradise Lost, which I really think they could do without. But maybe it's going to be really good. It's supposed to be like they're saying like a Game of Thrones kind of show, which I don't know how you do that. Game of Thrones is definitely one of it. Stands alone. You cannot. It's its own thing. Like best show ever. You can't fuck with Game of Thrones. I'm sorry. It's not a thing. You can't fuck with it. You cannot emulate it. It'll just be something else. Don't tell me it's like Game of Thrones just because it's fantasy based or has some swords and armor, right? Or some medieval whatever the fuck. That doesn't make it like Game of Thrones. But if it is like Game of Thrones, man, it's gonna be brilliant because it's about Themyscira, which is like this mythological, Mount Olympus sort of esque maybe kind of place where Wonder Woman's whole, people are from. And it's going to take place before Wonder Woman is born. So it's definitely like a, what do you call it, prequel. Slade said it would be cool to see a movie about all the Robins. Yeah, and I think like we will see all the Robins in the movies. I don't know if they're just going to do like a movie about the Robins, but I think they're going to end up in one way or another in the DCU. As long as Gunn keeps the reins and he can keep doing what he wants to do, we're going to see more and more of the Bat family and the whole Batman thing. And that's what I'm just so excited to see Gunn's Batman because Batman's my favorite character since childhood. Before I was like a Wolverine fan, even like since I was like 10 years old. So that's going to be cool because I really would like to see a gray and blue suit Batman in live action. The Ben Affleck suit did not really count for me. It was like navy blue and like kind of, I need blue, right? And gray and the yellow. I want that shit to look like fucking the comic books, like Jim Lee or something. But I think Gunn's going to do that. I think that's what the Batman's going to be. He said his Batman movie is not going to be campy or silly at all. It's not going to be like Guardians of the Galaxy. Don't expect his Batman to be like the 60s show or something like that. He said it's going to be very serious, but I think it's still going to be very much like a comic. It's going to be serious, but it'll be more reminiscent of a serious comic book or even a serious, cartoon that you might know or something like that. But agreed, Slade. Robin group movie would be dope. Yeah, I think we'll see the family at some point. I think, like I said, bro, we're gonna have Red Robin, probably Red Hood, but I think Nightwing is a sure. It may just be Nightwing and Damian Wayne, but I don't think so. I think we'll get them all at some point. Maybe even like a show or something. Just hire some of these independent cosplay costume makers and do yeah, bro. Them and but think about how much, go ask some of them people how much money they put into those costumes, bro. Because I've seen thousands go into some of them costumes, them cosplay joints, and those cosplayers, bro, fucking better than Hollywood, bro. Some of them cosplayers are better than Hollywood. Or this generation of Hollywood costume designers are lazy. Yeah, it's some because these cosplay, they just don't have the passion. A cosplayer, think about it, they're probably like a big fan of this character. There's a lot of passion in it, or they're the type of cosplayer that they just have a passion for cosplay, and they just do whatever. But yeah, as for what fans think the secret project that DCU is doing could be, there's theories that Gunn is developing a project based on the New Gods, or a crisis event style film to bring characters back from the DCEU. Very much a multiversal thing like Marvel's doing with the Fox X-Men and shit like that. I really fucking hope not. I really hope it's the New Gods one. Because fuck, New Gods are cool, bro. And I mean, like, I want to see Jack Kirby, bro. I want to see Kirby shit, man. That would just be. But I mean, you're talking about, like, you know what I mean, like all them dudes that Stu Dog loves, Dark Side and Orion, I think, and Calabac. You got it's hella characters. So that's a whole thing that they could do. But that could be the secret project. But wouldn't it be dope if it was the Robin joint? That'd be cool. But as for when this project could potentially be announced, there's the New York Comic-Con still coming up, which is in October. That could reveal something, or the CEO David Zaslav's next Warner Brothers thing, and then the whole earnings call thing, the Q3 2025, which is currently undated, but typically occurs early November. Clayface set photos have all these great Easter eggs, man. There's just all this cool shit. There's even a nod to Hush, and then the whole thing around like Amusement Mile and all that. But here, let me show you. Let me show you the way. Oh, fuck. All right, well, there's that's Hush. But here you go. Incredibly realistic level of detail. Marie Antoinette, Roger Elliott, Jack the Ripper, contemporary Gothamites, and figures of history. Well, Roger Elliott is a contemporary Gothamite. He is the father of Thomas Elliott, aka Hush. Yeah. Dope. This is a sign from the Clayface movie. So all these Easter eggs tell us, man, is that the DCU cares about adapting comics. It cares about referencing shit that we are familiar with and will recognize and will be nostalgic and will, you know what I mean, give us that dopamine hit of nostalgia that we crave. And so Marvel fucked up when they lost Gunn, bro. They fucked up. They should have let Gunn. They should have gave Gunn Feige's job. But man, you know, because I'm a Marvel guy, this is all bittersweet because while this is all fucking great for comic fans, and I love it, it's just a little bittersweet for me that it's DC. And I'm sorry if you're a DC guy and you're lucky as fuck, and I'm jealous because I really wish that fucking this was a Marvel thing, that we were getting all this cool shit all Marvelized. But I'll take it. I will take it. Because I still, again, you know, there's always Batman. Like, I'm not a DC guy. I don't hate DC. I'm not a fan of everything. But like, I'm not a Superman fan, really. I'm not like, you know, not really a fan of. I'm trying to think. Like, as a little kid, I thought Green Lantern was cool and Flash and all that, and like, but like, very little kid. I mean, like single digit ages. Like, yeah, it just wasn't. It just, I gravitated to Marvel. I like the mutants a little bit. I just, you know, Spider-Man, the black suit. Like, you couldn't. Yeah, bro, I was definitely a Marvel guy, and it's not like a bias, and I got nothing against DC, but it would be great if this was happening with Marvel. But I'm still glad it's happening because I feel like I've been bamboozled. I feel like I've been robbed and led astray and run amok ever since the MCU, you know, has been teasing me like it's almost the comics that you know. It's almost this, it's almost that. Whereas the DCU is like, it's that thing. It really is that. Here's Amusement Mile. There's Father Knickerbocker's VJax Museum. What does it say? VJax? What am I, an idiot? It's wax. I just said VJax, y'all. On live, fucking. It's wax, okay? It's a wax museum, okay? Biggest gathering of stars in Gotham. Stand shoulders with Gotham's most infamous. And then you got Father Knickerbocker. Hours of fun. Free map. Visit now. Oh, free map. There you go. We were showing the map of Gotham that is in this movie, which proves to all the tools out there who still think somehow that Robert Pattinson is somehow going to be linked to the DCU, and it's not. It's a different Batman. It's a different fucking universe altogether. wouldn't even fit, wouldn't make any sense at all. There's no way Robert Pattinson has like a teenage son. Like, get the fuck out of here, guys. Come on, think. But anyway, I digress. This is cool. It's cool shit. Amusement Miles from the comics. There you got Twisted Memories. That's a ride from the comics too. Ferris Wheel, the infamous. But yeah, there you go, right there. Roger Elliott. That's Hush. That's Hush's pops. Exciting shit. So Marvel was more honest. DC was very typically good guy versus bad guy. Yeah, DC's very much black and white. It's really classic hero villain, superheroes and villains, that kind of thing. Whereas Marvel blurred the line a little bit. Your superheroes had problems and stuff. They weren't all, rich guys or whatever. They struggled to pay the rent. Spider-Man lived in a shitty apartment and had a shitty boss, and like that was the whole thing. And like, Daredevil's blind, and like there was just, everyone had the mutants were just, oppressed, and like it's just, everyone had these really relatable problems that DC heroes just seem to skate past. And not always, and definitely not now. I mean, DC definitely figured it out after a while, but it was too late for me. I was already hooked on Marvel because of that, because of how real it was, I guess. I ain't gonna front though. I mean, I was a little kid. I liked ninjas. Spider-Man had a black suit. That's all it took. That's it. I was hooked. Let's see. Something else I want to talk to you guys before we go here. Oh, if anybody knows what this is, let us know. The original Captain Marvel died of cancer. I mean, like, everyone was fucked up in some way, and it resonated, man, and with everybody. And that's how Stan Lee struck gold. That's what Stan Lee did different. Because you couldn't compete with DC. There was no competing with DC. Like, no comic company could compete with DC. And like, it took Stan Lee to write the Fantastic Four, where there was like these people that had problems and like, weren't, handsome, and just like had, what I mean? And like, so yeah, that's what, and then Spider-Man was a wrap. Doomsday is coming. The Russo brothers share Avengers Doomsday tease so blurry. A Doomsday tease so blurry. No one's sure what it means. And this is it. I mean, what are you doing, guys? What are you giving us? What are you doing to us? Let me see if there's a better pic. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's like a chalkboard. That's what I thought too. There's Reed Richards right there making. Let's see what they said about it. I'm not gonna worry about it. But yeah, that's probably what it is, dude. It's probably a chalkboard or something like that. That's what it looks like to me. It just says Doomsday's coming. So I think Dennis 95 nailed it right here, man. This dude nailed it. That's fucking Reed on the chalkboard. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Nobody knows. Okay. Here's the article about Robin. It says DC Studios set to confirm DCU's Batman's second Robin. DCU Studios already gearing up for 2 Robins in the DCU's rebooted DCU. New set photos. DCU Batman spinoff movie Clayface seemingly confirm a new Robin existence in the DCU, unlike Matt Reeves' Batman franchise, which is features on an early career Dark Knight played by Robert Pattinson. The DCU's Batman will be firmly established with a Bat family, while that will be first truly explored in Brave and the Bold, starring a recast Batman and his son-turned-Robin Damian Wayne. Clayface will be the first to dive into Gotham. Clayface continues production in UK. New set photos that refer to various DC characters are previously unconfirmed for rebooted DCU, from Black Canary to Black Mask. The latest of these was Dick Grayson, aka the original Robin, making him the second Boy Wonder confirmed for the DCU. Black Canary, Black Mask, all confirmed with these weird little Easter eggs that we're getting from the set of Clayface. Eagle-eyed set visitors spotted poster for Flying Graysons, which is famously an acrobatic family trio of Dick and his parents, John and Mary. And there it is, the poster there with the Graysons from the comics. It was a fall arranged by mobster Tony Zuko that killed the Graysons' parents and left Dick orphaned and adopted by Bruce Wayne to later become Robin. This shouldn't come as a surprise for DC Studios confirmed Bruce's biological son, Damian Wayne, will be the Robin introduced in The Brave and the Bold. As chronologically the 4th Robin in the comics, Grayson, Todd, and Tim Drake should all theoretically have already carried the mantle. Yes, they've already existed. But as of now, Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne are the only 2 Robins confirmed for the DCU, even though they are more likely aren't the only ones. So, I mean, yeah, if you've got Robin and you've got Damian Wayne, it's pretty safe to say we're going to have Jason Todd and Tim Drake. Now, Tim Drake I could really do without. But Jason Todd, man, that would be cool to see that little story there with Joker. Love to see a James Gunn version of that shit. Fuck. What's it called? Death in the Family. I always get it mixed up with Killing Joke. Death in the Family, bro. That would be sick. Says, but as of now, Dick and Damian Wayne the studios tease other members of the extended Bat family could appear in The Brave and the Bold, which should include 8 Batman-related characters. And Grayson could be one of them. In fact, he should already be well past his Robin days and operating as Nightwing in Bloodhaven. Just like I said. And the Flying Graysons are operating as acrobatics group as during the time of Clayface. If they are, it says, and this poster has not just been left up in Gotham for some time. It seems increasingly likely that DCU horror is taking place in the past, and I think it is. I think that makes sense. Why Batman isn't there? That's it. That's it. Batman's not in this movie. You can't have a villain. This is not Sony. We're not making villain franchises without fucking the hero. Like, no. And so, yeah, this is definitely going to take place before Batman exists, which is why he's not in it. And then later, we will see this Clayface in a Batman movie. That's how this goes. So very cool way to, a very unique way to input this. I mean, Clayface, this sort of, by doing like this body horror movie, like that's something crazy, like to do an origin story about a villain in like a horror movie, so that when we then see them in the Batman movie, we know how fucked up this villain is and like the shit they've done, right? Because we saw them in a horror movie. Bro. That's what I'm talking about. When will Dick Grayson make his DCU debut? Nightwing. Unfortunately, it seems like Dick Grayson will appear in Clayface. Unlikely that he will appear in Clayface. Yeah, like at best, maybe we'll see like in the background a trapeze artist, and like we'll know that's the Flying Graysons, like something like that. Like I don't expect a big scene with like Dick Grayson or anything. It's just the fact that he exists and that it's during the time when the Flying Graysons existed and we're not, dead. That tells us a lot about Gotham at that time and the movie and the universe that we're in and where Batman's going to be. Because, again, remember, this is not Sony. This is not like a Clayface movie without Batman that will just unexplainably just like never have Batman or like something like, no. Batman won't even probably be mentioned because he won't even be alive yet, and or not alive yet, but I don't think he'll be known yet. He'll just be probably just starting out or something like that, because he operates for a while before he finds Dick Grayson. So by the time Dick Grayson is doing his acrobat act, Batman is still doing. He started out, so maybe he's in a Robert Pattinson Batman era, year 2, something like that, during Clayface, or even to a point where he hasn't really donned the cowl yet. Maybe in Clayface, maybe at the end, the post credit, we see a young Bruce Wayne like getting ready to fucking don the cowl, like something like that. But yeah, love to speculate. That said, Grayson more than likely won't appear until Brave and the Bold, with minor supporting role as Nightwing. Just like I thought. Fans can only hope that after that, he finally gets his dues on the big or small screen after a Nightwing movie was left in development hell and never came to fruition ahead of James Gunn's DCU takeover. Yeah, development hell. It never got developed. There was a night movie that, of course they were going to make a Nightwing movie, but it just never happened. Yeah, there's the Dick Grayson and Jason Todd dynamic duo movie that DC's making, this Elseworld thing. I don't even know why they're making. I guess it's cool for fans of like Robin, I guess. Like, who's a Robin fan? I don't know. I'm sure they exist. Clayface set photos reveal movie's historic DCU timeline placement. Oh, that's the same fucking thing. Yeah. It's got to be the timeline when Dick Grayson is fucking alive. Or his parents are alive. Yep. And we talked about last week already. If you didn't know, just a quick reminder: the Superman sequel, the Superman 2 movie, Man of Tomorrow, is going to literally not really be a sequel to Superman, but more of like a Lex Luthor movie where Lex is almost like a hero in a way. They team up. It's Lex and Superman together. Let me just read you what Gunn said. It's a story about Lex Luthor and Superman having to work together to a certain degree against a much, much bigger threat. End quote. Then he said, it's more complicated than that, but that's a big part of it. It's as much a Lex movie as it is a Superman movie. I loved working with Nicholas Hoult. I relate to the character of Lex, sadly. I really wanted to create something extraordinary with the two of them. I just love the script so much. So that's kind of out of left field. No one was expecting a, Superman sequel right away. It definitely wasn't part of the slate, but this is proof of Gunn sticking to his word that what he told us was, here's the Gods and Monsters slate. These are the movies I plan to make now. That could change. And I'm not going to make the mistake that Marvel made of, we have this, plan that we're going to make this movie and this movie and this movie on this date and this date and this date. And then even if shit comes up and things aren't ready, the script isn't done, all kinds of shit, like we're still going to stick to those deadlines and make those movies we said we were going to make. That's fucking stupid. So what Gunn's doing is, this is what I plan to make. And if the script is good and complete and the movie's ready, then yeah, we'll make that movie. If a new movie comes along, a new script comes across my desk that blows me away and it's just amazing, yeah, I'm going to make that movie. This is what apparently Clayface is. It's definitely not something we ever heard. It's not something he planned. He said this came out of nowhere. He was not planning to have this be part of the DCU or anything like that. And he's not making the movie, but it's going to be part of the DCU. He's letting it be a part of the DCU because he loved the script that much. And the script was apparently that good. So it better be fucking good. But yeah, that's cool. I mean, he's sticking to that. And he found this script with Man of Tomorrow that he felt was good enough or so good that it needs to be done right away. Also, he's got to ride the momentum of Superman, right? Superman, very successful movie. So he wants to keep that while that momentum's hot, because if he just kind of leaves this alone and then starts doing Supergirl and then goes in under Clayface and then we end up doing, Green Lantern and then we get the Batman. By the time we get back to Superman again, it's cold potato, Wonder Woman, all that. So now he's just sort of keeping on that hype train and jumping into Man of Tomorrow. So hopefully that'll be great. Lex Luthor in his war suit. So we saw the image by Jim Lee. So Jim Lee threw up this image. He drew up this image for the movie Man of Tomorrow. So expect to see Lex in that power suit. And you can see that's the DCU Superman right there with his DCU suit on and all that. It must be fighting Darkseid. Yeah, right. Who's Superman and Lex having to team up against, right? Who's that? I think Brainiac personally, but that's just wishful thinking. I hope Brainiac. I just hope it's Brainiac. Mainly because we haven't seen Brainiac before. One, and two, Brainiac's a dope fucking character, bro. Dope villain with so much potential. So that is my hope. Darkseid, I want to see more of in a New Gods movie, like a New Gods, a movie that's more based on Darkseid and that whole universe and like the cosmic, because I want to focus on it. Like I don't want to waste Darkseid, really. You know what I mean? Like Lex and Superman, that's going to be definitely a very Earth-based movie. Lex in his power suit and all that. It's not going to be a cosmic DC movie. And Darkseid belongs in cosmic DC. He's not a bad guy on Earth. Like, you know what I mean? So it's I think more fitting for a character like Brainiac, who is more of an Earth-based villain, but anything's possible. And it would be dope either way. And I think that about does it. Yeah, that about does it, guys, for the show. And as we always do, we will do this every weekend, every Saturday and every Wednesday night at about 7 p.m. If you just came in, rewind the show, watch the beginning. It was really good. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And just remember, you know what I'm saying? We do this twice a week, and you might see the thumbnail and the title, but we talk about all kinds of shit. The shows go all over the place, but they always stay very concise. We keep it structured, so don't worry about things being boring or going off, because we like to keep shit moving all the time on our show. So you will dig it. We promise, we guarantee it. And as I always tell you guys before we go, don't forget,
be water, my friend.